You ever wondered where beginners actually get paid UGC work with no following needed? Well, in today's video, I'm going to break this all down for you. So make sure you stay tuned. Now, if you are new here, welcome. My name's Charlotte Barrett. I teach all things UGC, content creation, and online income on this channel. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you go ahead now. When I first started UGC, probably coming up to about 4 years ago now, I didn't have brands in my inbox. I didn't have thousands of followers. I was doing something completely different, higher ticket coaching. I wasn't UGC famous. And also, I was here in the UK where literally the market of UGC hadn't taken off. But I decided that I had autonomy. I could switch and change and pivot whenever I wanted. And I was going to dedicate some consistency and time to learning a new skill because I saw an opportunity. Despite what I didn't have, what I did have was decent lighting, a phone that worked, and a willingness to practice and to learn. And the very first time that I realized followers didn't matter with UGC was when I got a paid deal after I made that decision that said I'm going to do UGC less than a week after. Now, this isn't typical. I do believe it's because I had transferable skills from I've been building businesses for a long time. But I got that first deal up on Upwork less than a week after deciding. And that was proof for me that UGC works, that I don't need tons of followers, and I could actually build a stable income from this. Now, that first gig that I landed was proof of concept. It didn't matter about the money. I think I earned something like $40. And when converted into pounds, you know that wasn't a lot. It was for a company that was selling a service of titles. And I was so happy. Literally thought I'd won the lottery because it proved the concept that I could actually do this, despite all the negative thoughts that I had inside my head. Best thing about that gig is that my audience was never going to see it because that's the beauty of UGC. The brand buys the content from you and they put on their own social channels. And, I think about it now, thank God no one will ever see that video because it was absolutely awful. I was just getting started. And that's what you need to understand and have as a mindset when you're a beginner in anything. You are only going to get better through more practice and taking that time to learn your skill. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's video and talk about how you can actually land paid work as a beginner, no followers, inexperience in the industry. Here's what you're going to do as a beginner to start securing those first brand deals. You want to get on all the platforms. After a while, you're going to find your feet and find which platform you resonate with most. I'm going to drop a list on the screen. I indicate which is good for beginners, which is good for intermediate, and which is good for advanced. They all require different things. And once you've started to get that experience, what it's like to work with a brand, you've got some good videos. That's how you start to build your portfolio. Once you have a good bank and a good portfolio, you are going to be more equipped and better to go out there and pitch, work directly with brands, and you will have a good body of work. And I think sometimes people go out there pitching with big brands, and yes, you can land deals, but you're going to feel more confident if you have a good body of work, which is where you're going to establish that via apps, via call out platforms like X, like going into Facebook groups as well. People often miss this UGC Facebook groups, and getting on all the platforms that I've listed. You want to do that repetitively, and on the side you want to be building your personal brand. Now, this is literally the creator's holy grail, where you start to have inbounds. You're not searching for deals, and that happens when brands find you and you receive inbounds when you build what is called and known as a personal brand. I will go into that in more detail in another video, but basically it means creating content that brands would want to hire you for, having that on your socials. And again, following count doesn't matter. They're looking for your creativity, they're looking for the type of content, if you're authentic and if you're real, and if they can see you being an ambassador for their brand in their content. So build your personal brand, put content out there that resonates with you, that makes you unique, and answer the questions that those brands are secretly thinking about if they should hire you or not as a content creator. Put that out there, build your personal brand, pitch, make sure you have an about me video as well. You can use this to leverage on the platform. It's one of the first pieces of content, and this is how you're going to start to secure your first brand deals. And from then you start to build systems and strategies into your business, which is more of a refined strategy, and I'll go into that in a future video as well. And this is how you start to build your UGC business. You start to hit those at least those first couple of months, you start to hit 1k plus, then you move on 2 to 3, then you move 5, and you move 5 plus. But it is a process, and I want you to understand that your creator journey is not like anyone else's. Build it according to the goals that you're trying to achieve. Build systems in early, and you will see the results of your work. as a newbie in the UK, you're probably looking at about 100, £150. In the US, around 150, maybe $250. That's what you're looking at to start. And that's exchanged for a piece of content, usually around 30 seconds. That literally becomes your base rate, your base pay. And then you want to add other services to really bulk it up. So bundles are a great way to do this. In addition, you want to look at usage fees. So usage is where a company hires your content for maybe 3, 6, or 12 months, or even lifetime. Sometimes I've had that request. And this is where you can charge an additional fee. So typically between 20 to 30% of your base rate per month, you can add on a charge. Brands don't tend to run ads for a very long period of time because of what we call ad fatigue, and the ad just runs out of spark even if it's working well, which is why they need so much creatives. And now, if you want to check if a brand is still running your ads after agreed time and you are due maybe a usage rights invoice, all you need to do, simply go to the Meta ad library, check if your ad's still running, send the brand a friendly email with the invoice attached and say, hey, it's great, I see the ad's still running and we agreed X amount of time, here's an invoice for a remainder 3 or 6 months, and do it that way. Now let's look at other ways you can make money as well from usage rights, from whitelisting. You've got doing bundles where you have a number of videos and maybe images in a bundle that really helps bulk it up as well. And then you have also got, you can charge additional for hooks, you can charge additional price for photographs as well. And why this space is screaming out for new creators all the time, because people get used to the same ads, same faces, they want new. So usage rights is really a great way that you can make additional income. Really personal down to you as a creator how you charge for usage rights. Personally, because I'm so busy, I've got multiple things going on, I tend to include 3 months usage right within my base fee, which is why it is higher, because I don't have time to go back and track. However, I do add on if it's past 3 months, 6 or 12 months, or if they want lifetime, then I will then negotiate and use the percentage that I've just shared with you, depending on the brand and the budget. Great thing about usage fee is this can bulk it up if they want it for a longer period of time. Next, you have whitelisting, where I tend to share on the same rates that I've just said above, around 20 to 30% of my base rate per month. And that is when a brand typically runs an ad from your account. So it's more authentic for them than coming from a brand account, and they run it from your account, they get your ad codes, and then you can charge for that depending on how long you're negotiating in the deal. And you may even negotiate a deal where you get a commission of sales as well. So it depends on how that deal has been structured. Let's talk about gifted collabs. I think this is a great way when you're getting started in space to build example content and get to understand what it's like to work with a brand, understand and follow a brief. Now, one thing I will say is be intentional about gifted. You do not want to be doing gifted collaborations all the time, because you're here to build a business and make money. But I do think it can be a great leverage, particularly if it's a product that you really like that's very expensive, or if it's an industry you want to get into. So I've done this before. I've taken a gifted collab for industry I didn't have much experience in, use that to then leverage and then get more paid work from it. So if you use it strategically and it's not a long-term thing, gifted collaborations I do endorse as a way to get started, particularly as a beginner. And just a reminder, free work is a stepping stone and it should never be your final destination. So be careful and mindful of how much free work you take on, or how much gifted collabs you take on. Because there's so much nonsense online about UGC. Your first deal might not be huge. You might not be making it 10K months within your first couple of months. You might not feel confident straight away, but that is okay. Done is better than perfect. It's a craft, it's a business that you're building time after time. Is a skill, and it's a skill that grows through reps. So have that mindset. You'll build a long, solid business that will give you opportunities beyond your wildest dreams. If you've made it this far into the video and you're sitting there thinking, okay, this sounds good, but I still don't know what to do, then I want to invite you into my free school community where I break down everything UGC. I actually have a full free course in there called UGC Made Easy. I post opportunities, I post what is working in the industry right now. So I want to invite you. The link will be in the description. Come on in, join the community, and let's build a real sustainable UGC business that fits around your life. I'll see you soon for the next video. If you haven't, make sure that you subscribe.